In this video review, I'll cover a few things that I couldn't find out when I was researching to upgrade my mixer. I started with a Behringer 802 mixer using the F audio control unit with FireWire. This was a fantastic mixer and I highly recommend it. However, I did outgrow it because it really needs some more inputs. I wanted to get the best bang for my buck as possible and as many inputs as possible for the limited funds I had. I had to buy a new mixer, so I decided on the Behringer Xenyx 1222 USB mixer. I'll briefly run over a few of the main features of this mixer and then some more information that I couldn't find out on most other reviews. There are some extra reviews on YouTube that will cover the features very well and probably much better than I will, but I will try fill in some gaps that I couldn't find the answers to. This mixer has 16 input channels, but for all practical purposes there are only 12. There are 6 XLR inputs. 4 of these are mono and 2 are stereo channels. There are 2 line-in inputs, 1 set of CD inputs or any other device really, and the auxiliary returns can also be used as an input. Starting from the top, you got your XLR inputs, then followed by a line-in or your insert. Now these channels can only be run one at a time. Under that you have a gain knob for microphone gain. Beside that you have a little low cut filter switch, and then the compression knob, followed by a 3-band graphic equalizer, followed by 2 auxiliary sends, then your pan, mute, switch and fader control. And like I said before, the last 2 XLR inputs also are stereo channels and have a stereo input. Channels 9 through 12, 9, 10, 11 and 12 are stereo input channels. Then you have your CD type inputs in this channel. The other side's an output. These are auxiliary turns that are also can be used as input. It actually has a graphic equalizer built in, as well as your normal knobs. This graphic equalizer actually controls the whole lot, whereas these control individual channels. This is the onboard effects control, works really well too. This has got a voice cancellation button which you can actually use to drop out the frequency of voices. Actually works okay. It's not brilliant, but it works okay. The main thing I want to talk about, however, is the 2TR USB return. Okay, this is where I had some problems and couldn't find out any information about the 2TR return controller. This has 2 functions, the first being controlling the volume input from the TR track, which is the CD inputs, but also controls the level coming back from the computer. There is no switch between these 2 controls, so the controller works equally on both sets of sounds. So if you have a computer connected and a CD connected, the sounds are treated equally the same. This channel can be sent through the onboard graphic equalizer and through the main out, but it can't be sent back to the PC. This mixer does actually run very well using USB. I have used it in a few different audio applications, including Audition, which I do most of my work in. I've used Audacity, Ableton Live and Pod Producer, but I did find it not so great in Pod Producer. But I'm not sure if that was a Windows issue or something else, or a driver issue. So understanding that the 2TR controller actually sends the audio signal out to the main out is important, but it doesn't go back to the PC, that audio channel. So if you were to hook a CD up to those inputs, that wouldn't go into the computer. This is another thing I like about my Behringer mixer with the USB, that it can actually do this without too much problem. Okay, I've got a track in the top just for some music. We'll just play that. Let it play. So we've got some music there. Now I've set this track up to record me, so I've just gone click, add a mono track, that's all I've done there, and I'll armed it for recording, hit record, and I should record. So now I'm recording 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and as you can see if I pause, there's no extra music coming here for overdubbing. Okay, if I play that back now, so now I'm recording 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, it works extremely well. It's important to also note that another function of this mixer is it acts just like a sound card. So if I bring up on the speaker this list of playback devices. There it is there as a standard playback device. So anything going through and out of the computer is controlled by that TR return key. I found the fact that it's got 2 auxiliary sends very, very handy when I record a Skype conversation and a phone call at the same time using the mix minus setup. The signal from the FX processor can be turned down so it has no effect, and you can just use it as a standard aux out. I think that this mix is very good, although it took some getting used to, compared to the 802 with the FireWire audio interface. I'm sure there's better mixers out there, but for the money you pay for these Behringer products, I really think they are outstanding value for money and work quite well, especially for the home pod producer. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm only too happy to answer when I get a chance. Thanks.